Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, A. Michael. I am here with
Mama Chooch,
Mama Chooch. Yes. So,
aka Sherry.
aka Sherry. So, I've been wanting to do this for a minute because this is different than all the other interviews that I've done. So this is different, and I'm very, very excited for it.
I'm excited too. I actually went on and checked out your YouTube thing today, and I was really impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm gonna give it a shot.
It means a lot.
Your ratings might take a dive. Just
Oh, nah.
saying.
You never know. The views may go up.
We'll give it a shot.
Ooh. All right. So like the first question I have is, how did you become a part of AR-73?
We got don't need you down here backing. He ran like a bitch.
Well, I knew that he was forming Chooch was forming a lot of bonds in the group,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I had an opportunity to talk with Fink a little bit, and you know, and they came to visit, so I kind of got an idea of a little bit of the history
Mm-hmm.
with the group, and I definitely can stand behind the reason to reason for the group and all your
Yeah.
values. It's just exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a big role. I'm kind of like in the background. I don't know what he has in mind for me, but here I am.
Yeah.
I just like what you guys are all about. I'm impressed with, you know, not so much. My husband drives me crazy, especially when he plays like some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. I'm like, kidding me? But I know everybody needs an outlet.
Yes.
Everybody needs that connection. Everybody needs a chance to blow off steam, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his baby, so I stand behind it.
That's nice. See, in today's world, you don't see a lot of that. You don't see a lot of wives, like sticking up or understanding, their husband's outlets, right? Because sometimes it could be video games, it could be going to the gym, it could be all kinds of stuff. So
But
so I
I
respect
think
that.
I think the key is to be honest right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew going into this relationship that this was something that he enjoyed doing.
Yes.
I mean, I would go over on Friday nights and he'd be like, and I'm like, what am I doing here? But I get it. Everybody needs, like I said, an outlet to blow off steam after what you go through on a daily basis. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys take a lot of time away from us. I just want to tell you that, and I'm not really. But moving on.
Well, with you saying that, I try my hardest. I try my hardest to take the load off of Chooch in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And there's a lot of other members, trying to trying to take a load off of him because he does do a lot for AR-73, and you can tell that he really cares.
Yeah, he's very passionate about it.
He is.
Just um, not too sure about some of the drama you all go through, but
Uh,
that's definitely that's something that you can't get away from anyways. How many
yeah.
members do you all have? Almost 100 or over
Yes,
100
man.
now?
Yeah, we're at a like 71, I believe.
Right. So when you get 71 people together as a group, you're always going to have some level of, BS.
Mm-hmm.
And do I like that he has to be in the middle of all of it? Not so much, but
Yeah.
who's better to handle crap than Chooch?
I'm telling you.
Right? No one messes with him, right? Because
You're
no one
right.
wants to see him angry.
Nah, nobody does. Not even me. I don't want to see him
No.
angry.
Oh, he adores you. That's never
Nah,
gonna
I appreciate that.
happen.
Ooh. So, I don't have a lot of questions about, AR-73 because, you are kind of behind the scenes and you're not like in the loop, we'll say, a lot of the times. But I
Right.
will but I will ask this. The sponsors that we have a flavor coming out that I presented you and Chooch with the idea, and I would like for you to talk a little bit about it and to get your opinion on it.
Okay. So, like the new flavors and the names we came up with,
Yes, ma'am.
is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like we could have worked better with some of the other flavors, but this is what we were dealt, right?
Yeah.
So, who better than to represent the peach than you? You are such a sweet person that, bless your heart, Georgia Peach. It all made sense.
Yeah.
It was all you. And then I know that Rich wanted something, in honor of Rocco,
Mhm.
and then you all needed one for the group as a whole. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just think of things on the fly and it comes out, and I'm like, oh, bless your heart, and it just fit.
Yeah.
And the other ones, I didn't know what to do with the cream soda.
Yeah.
Did we decide what we were doing with the cream soda?
I have no idea that Church only told me mine, and that was it. He didn't tell me the other one. So
So I think that we were gonna do it's punch, right? Rocco punch.
I think so. Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be really cool because once everybody gets, excited for, seeing their name on the can or whatever, it's just very exciting. And it's a good way to, put money into the regiment.
Oh yeah, it is. But yeah, so I just see. I thought it was something very interesting, and it's something that I believe that you and Chooch would be very excited to see. Your best friend, Rocco, sadly passed away, and just being able to have a tribute flavor for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. I can't wait for it to come out, and just people seeing the true love that you and Chooch had for the dog. Because when I made that tribute video, you could tell, just by going through the videos and the pictures, and it was amazing.
It that was the sweetest thing that really anyone has ever done for us. And it was sad and funny, and so many emotions went through when we were watching it. And it's something that we're definitely going to treasure forever. It was very special to us. And of course, you know the story. I wanted the dog.
Yeah.
He didn't want any part of the dog. But at the time, my mother was dying of cancer, and I thought, I think, going through all that and watching someone slowly decline, I think in my mind, I'm like, let me get a dog. I'm going to be needing something to, help me get through, and I don't take no for an answer. So we ended up with the dog, and we are almost able to bring both. No one at the time really knew or really liked the white boxers. They were always outcast.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted the brown ones, the brindle. Nobody wanted the whites. They were always, you know, disposable or whatever. And we were going to get both Rocco and his brother at a discounted price for one price. But we're like, what do we do with two?
Yeah.
We had three at the most, but um, yeah, we thought we would try one out, and he just made a huge impact on our lives for sure.
Yeah. Cause like I said, when I was talking to Chooch about it, when he sadly passed, I called him up, check up on him, make sure that he was okay, and he told me a few stories. And I told him to send me some videos. He sent me a whole bunch of videos, and it was like the relationship was there, the connection was there with you and Rocco and Chooch and Rocco, and it was just it was heartwarming. And I never seen the dog in person. I never had a connection, but watching the videos, looking at the pictures, I felt something just by listening and looking. And I told Church, I said when I was making the video, I started to tear up because I was just cause like you lost the best friend, and it was heartbreaking, and it tore me up just watching the video.
I know Rocco and Rich really did. Sorry, Rocco and Chooch really had a close bond. They. I mean, Rocco and I had a special relationship too, but he was definitely all daddy's boy. And I knew it was going to be very difficult for him when the time
Yeah,
was to decide if we had to make the choice, and it was, and he's still not right. It takes time. You never get over it. It just hurts, I guess, less and less.
yeah. It's just like something you kind of have to adapt to.
Right.
But
I mean, it's a part of life. You,
mm-hmm,
you go in knowing that you're gonna outlive them.
mm-hmm,
You know, circle of life. You take care of them the best that you can possibly take care of them. They become part of your family, and then you have to say goodbye. It sucks.
it
It's
does.
part of being a pet owner. You know,
Yeah,
do you have any pets?
I do. I do. I have a boxer. Well, I wouldn't.
Mm.
Okay, a boxer. Uh, it's mixed with a husky.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
really?
it's mixed with three. So it's kind of it's weird. It's boxer, lab,
He's a
husky.
he's a mutt.
Yes.
He's a mutt. Aw,
Yes.
that's cute.
Then I
Now, how
have
old is it a
oh,
boy?
it's a girl. She's
It's a girl.
12.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we'll have a red nose pit.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I don't
pride and
know. I
joy
don't.
is.
I really don't know what we did before having pets. Like, there's everywhere you look, you have memories,
hmm
and we'll probably always keep adopting. The house would be way too quiet. Well, not with
Oh
him, but the house would be quiet
yeah.
without. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh.
All right.
So
I'm waiting
go
for you
ahead.
to ask me about our history
Oh
because
yeah. Hey, that right there is gonna be probably the last one.
it's gonna be fire. Okay. All right.
Nah. So the next question I have, this like I said, this is stepping away from AR-73, but getting to know you a little bit more. So the first question I'd like to ask is, growing up, who was or multiple people, who was your mentor?
It was definitely my grandparents. Um, oh, so growing up, my mother was bipolar,
Mm-hmm.
and she made it very, very, very difficult in our household for
Yeah.
both my father and myself. And I'm an only child, thank
Mm-hmm.
God. Thank God. Um, I took a brunt of most of, my mother's mood swings, and
Mm-hmm.
I had an eating disorder because, I mean, you wouldn't know it now because we're chunky, but I had eating disorder when I was younger, and I suffered some childhood trauma because of her. So
Mm.
my safe zone were my grandparents, and I probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't. And it's something that I'll always carry with me. I would go over my grandmother's house a couple times a week,
Mm.
obviously to eat,
Yeah.
and we would cook together and we would sew together and we would just spend, time talking, and she really kept me grounded, and
Yeah.
I feel like they've they were really a huge inspiration for me, and one of the reasons why I think Richie chose me because I can cook like his grandmother. It probably had nothing to do with me personally. The fact that I could make meatballs and cook for him like my Italian grandmothers did, and we'll get to that. Um, yeah, I miss them every day.
Mm.
And I think it's important, my son Noah is 23, and, he calls his grandpa a lot and spends a lot of time with him. So it's very important to, know your roots,
Mm.
spend time with your elders, because when they're gone, there are a lot of times that I would say, why didn't I get that recipe? Or why didn't I spend time with her doing more of this
Mm.
instead of being so busy? So
Yeah.
time flies so quickly, and before you know it, you blink and you're older and they're gone, and you can't go back. But I have all those memories with me. But I would definitely say that my grandparents molded
Mm.
who I am today for sure. And my father's a great guy. My dad went through a lot when he was married to my mother,
Mm.
and he got out. Um, I think they were married like 25 years. He stuck it out for me.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm very thankful. He didn't leave me there with her by
Yeah.
myself. But, in the same token, it shows what kind of a man he was too, or
Mm.
he is.
Yeah.
He's very kind and soft spoken, and, everything that my son and I are. So I'm thankful.
That's good. Cause listening to that story, how you were talking about your mother having, bipolar, and how her mood swings would happen, and you would go to your grandparents' house, and you know, kind of just having your grandmother as that mother figure. As you said, the cooking, the sewing, even just, the quality time, talking and just having a good old time.
Yeah, every child needs an outlet,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I know that you had a discussion with Fink, um, with his PTSD. Well, I have it too
Mm-hmm.
because of what I've gone through, and I've gone through therapy, and I've done everything that they tell you to do. But I think that the key is to just remind yourself that whatever you went through and whatever is behind you, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
None of whatever happened to me was my fault. And I never took it out on anybody else. I always internalized everything, and try to overcome a lot of my fears, anxiety, you know, but I still have moments where I'm alone, and, it all comes back, and I have good days and bad days, just like Fink does. And,
Yeah.
Fink is very lucky to have all of you that he can, talk to, or, just call up and say, I'm having a real shit day.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a word? Can we
Yeah.
just sit, even if you don't say anything, just knowing that the other person is on the other line, and knowing that you have those people there for you is
Mm-hmm.
very important. I really didn't have a big support system.
Yeah.
I really took a lot of it on myself. But, your priorities change when you become a parent. Suddenly I had to focus on my son and his well being and put my fears and my past,
Hmm.
you know, on the back burner, which really helped me immensely.
Yeah.
But, now that he's grown and all the kids are gone, sometimes that stuff like trickles back in, but you have to keep it at bay and just move on and try not to look back.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and I you know this is all new to me, because I'm getting to know you, I'm getting to know your story, and so with going through all that, as you said it perfectly. You go through all that trauma. You go through the stuff that you saw as a child, teenager. You seen it all, and the memories are still there. And like you said, at night it comes out, and because that's when you're alone.
Right.
For me with my issues that I had, you know, if I'm doing something, I'm okay. I'm not thinking about it. But if I'm laying in my bed about to go to sleep, I can't go to sleep because all those thoughts come,
You
and it's
can't shut
just
it down. Yeah,
yeah.
you can't shut it down. Yeah, that's exactly
Hmm.
what it is. And then they want to put you on all this medication,
Yeah.
and it changes your personality. And I went through all of that too. And you just have to find what works for you, be
Hmm.
it meditation, music. I love music. Every night I listen to music before I fall asleep, and it's good therapy.
Hmm.
Listen to music, clear your mind, go to bed, and it works. You have to condition yourself to leave it all behind so you can rest. Otherwise, you just get all kinds of health issues or
Hmm.
whatnot, and nobody wants that. So
Yeah.
you do what you got to do to move on. I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah. And this morning, because I did learn one thing about you this morning, because that was Chooch telling me that you love music, and
I
I
do.
yeah, 'cause I sent him a song, and I told him to send it to you. So I don't know if you listened to it yet, but I.
You need to stop. I'm forming a crush on you. Stop.
Oh, I'm flattered.
It was a beautiful song. I think it made both of us cry at work, which um yeah, I mean, I think that music can say so much and speak to you on so many levels.
Hmm.
Be it happy moments or romantic moments, or you know even when you're cleaning or cooking, you have music that goes best with that.
Yeah.
So I love music. I From Frank Sinatra to Corn, Five Finger Death Punch. I'm in all of it. So yeah, it all depends on what kind of mood you're in, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm thankful that there's music out there that can you know take my mind off of things when I need it.
Hmm. No, you're absolutely right. Cause I myself am a music freak. Like before the call started, I was listening to music, and after the call, I'm gonna be listening to music again. I listen to music all the time, like 20 hours a day. I'm listening to music. It's just the other 4 I'm asleep.
Just four, that's not good.
Yeah.
So what's on your playlist?
Oh, see, I have a lot of playlists. All right, and just like you were talking about, the mood. So
Yeah,
so I have my workout playlist, which has a lot of heavy stuff,
yeah,
and then I have just my chill playlist, which has over 30 hours of music on it.
nice.
And then I have my Christian playlist, my Christian rap playlist. I just have all these playlists. It just depends on the mood. So that's probably the same for you. You probably have like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of playlists of like different artists and genres and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I have about 3,000 songs on my Spotify.
Wow.
And I just, you know, loop all around from Neil Diamond. I'm into Elvis right now because I saw the movie. Did you see the movie?
I have not.
Oh,
I have not.
go see the movie. Oh my goodness. It just sometimes I feel like I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong um, era. I wish that
Generation. Yeah.
I wish that I was born earlier in the '60s. Not because I want to be older than I am, but I'm thinking that I would probably have rocked Woodstock.
Yeah.
I would have had such a good time. I would have, yeah. But you know what? We haven't had anything that amazing since, unfortunately, and that's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad that the kids, these days weren't able to experience that. Although they did have a Woodstock and it was a disaster in
It
the 90s.
was. Yeah.
But yeah, music is important.
It is. It's very important. And it's that even goes back to the outlets. Because music is a big outlet for a lot of people. It is for me. Because I have a lot of outlets. I got three. Music, gaming, and then prayer. That's
Yeah.
my big ones.
And you work out, you have four.
Yeah, you're right.
A workout is a good way to, unwind and blow off some steam too. So,
Oh yeah, big, big. All right, so it's the moment you've been waiting for. I get to ask. So now you get to tell me your side of the story on your relationship with Rich.
all right. So, for a little background, everybody needs to go back and watch Rich's interview and then come back. I watched it for the first time earlier today and I was just like, was I even there? No. It was pretty accurate. So, my best friend back in the 90s was Rich's cousin. And her and I were inseparable while our boys were small. And I had met Rich a couple times because, Italian families, they just know everybody. My family knew his family. You get it, right?
Yeah.
And we would pass, at different functions. And one time we took the boys to the park. And he showed up, and I was like, he had this flat top haircut. And I think he had a 70s porn style mustache at the time, I'm pretty sure. And to be honest, I don't think that he liked me because back when I was 20 something, I used to smoke cigarettes and he was Mr. Fitness, so I think he frowned upon that. So those meetings weren't great. And just out of the blue, my godson, Rich's nephew, was having a birthday party, and my friend Tracy's like, "Hey, come over, have some cake, celebrate with, for Josh or whatever." And I'm like, "All right, who's going?" And she rattled off some people, and she said, "Oh, my cousin Richie's gonna come too." And I went, "Can I drop off the gifts?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? Why can't you get past this?" And I said, "Well, for the longest time, she would totally shit on him, say that, he was asked, and all because he wouldn't give her any money, and that's why he was the ass, right?
Ah.
But this was years of enabling his cousin. We both did it. She's no longer in our lives right now because of it. We just decided, we were tired of being the doormat and her financial, you know, person. So I sucked it up and I went to the birthday party. And I arrived and I walked in and saw him in the kitchen, and I literally flat out just was like, okay. And he leveled me. I don't know what it was about him that day that made me go, damn.
Love at first sight.
I was like, damn. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It might have been the goatee. He had a goatee, and he had really dark hair at the time. The big, have you looked at his eyes? Like, his eyes are really dark, and he's got these long eyelashes, and he just looked at me, and I was like, I'm done. Done. So, we just, we were married before, so we were just like, I don't want this. Let's just see, if the kids get along, if we can hang out, if we could, But we knew very quickly that it was making an A line to, the point of no return.
Mm.
And one day we went back to my friend Tracy, his cousin's house, for a party, and this is where he got everything wrong. So we're at the party, and we were inseparable at this time, so we were probably all over each other too. Probably. And she yells across the room, "Oh my God, it would be so cute if you guys got married. Sharia Gianetta," right? So she says my name, and he turned around, and I'm like, "What's the matter with you?" And he goes, "I thought your name was Sherry." I said, "No, yes, but my legal name is Sharia, which I hated more at the time. That's why everybody knew me as Sherry. I didn't go by that name."
Yeah.
So then he was like, "No fucking way." I'm like, what is wrong with you?" He goes, "Give me your ID." So I had to literally show him my ID. He grabbed it from me, looked at it, looked at me, gave it back, and left.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Right? And he never said anything. He's just said, "You know what, I wasn't feeling well, I went home." And then it took him like, I would say, 4 weeks. And it was 4 weeks of weirdness when
Wow.
he was around me. Like, he was like, I'm like, "You used to call me several times a day. What the hell is happening to you?"
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I'm just really busy." And he would be really short with me.
Mm.
Then he broke up with me.
Oh.
He broke up with me in the worst way. He's like, I just, and he made up a story. Made up a story like, I don't know. I have a, he had a abscess tooth at the time. And he said, "You know what? I just need to take a break."
Yeah.
And do you remember what he said, how long it took him to contact me back? He said it was only about a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
No, 6 months.
Oh.
Months went by. Now, honest to God, out of the blue, he texts me on St. Patrick's Day. And he says, "Happy St. Patrick's Day." I'm like, "You son of a bitch, I'm not even Irish. What are you doing?" And honestly, it took me that long to get my head straight
Mm-hmm.
after him dumping me, because I really thought that we had something.
Yeah.
He didn't give me any explanation what happened. And I'm like, "You know what? I don't want to talk to you."
Mm.
And I didn't for a little bit until uh, my friend Tracy's father, Rich's uncle, got gravely ill.
Mm-hmm.
And I was over her house just consoling her when he called. And of course, her being the nosy body that she was like, "Oh, Richie, Sherry's here," and I'm like, "Shh, shh, stop it." And she handed me the phone, and we just started talking, and he started crying, and I'm like, "What? You dumped me. I moved on. I don't want you." And we we ended up having to go see his uncle in the hospital, and I saw the Verizon truck outside the hospital, and I'm like, could we have not planned this visit any better? And I really, you know, considered not going up to the room because I knew
Mm-hmm.
he was there. But then, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, and here we are. So he dumped me for no really, good reason other than the fact that over 10, 15 years prior, he went to the psychic with his ex. He went to a psychic party,
Yeah.
and they were doing readings around the room and stuff. And I guess the psychic said that um, he said, I guess she asked him what his wife's name was. And at the time, it was not my name.
Yeah.
And she said, no, no, that's not who I see you're with. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? And it, they didn't even have Jacob yet, so he was new in the relationship or whatever. And he's like, well, geez, I just got married. What the hell is she telling me, right? So then she's like, well, I see you having two children, and one is really not clear in the background. Another one. And he's like, well, maybe she's going to get pregnant and she's going to lose one. And then she's like, and then he's like, well, who do you see me with? And she said, no, your wife's name is Sharia. So he carried this name with him in the back of his mind for many years until there I was.
Yeah.
And he ran. He ran away because he didn't know what to do with that. He's like,
Yeah. Freaked him out.
it freaked him out. It freaked him out. He ran and he almost ruined the best thing that ever happened to him.
You're right.
So that's the story. We are not perfect
Mm-hmm.
by any means. But we just know that we're better together. That no matter what level we're at,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we lived apart for a year. We got back together. Here we are, and we have big plans for each other. And you just got to stick it out. You have to communicate, talk it out, and at the end of the day, just realize that by the end of the day, this is my person.
Mm-hmm. I like
So
that.
that's our crazy story.
Okay, yeah, that's a crazy story. Wow, man. Nah,
Yeah, so don't
just
let him tell you that he, played it cool. No, he let me fester for 6 months.
man.
Right.
So my question that I have is, so how long have y'all been together?
So we started dating in 2009,
Okay.
2008. 2008, we broke up, remember, 6 months. So we've been back together since 2009, and we got married in 2013.
Oh wow.
Next year will be our 10-year anniversary.
Oh wow.
Mar-
Congratulations.
married, yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to go somewhere exciting next year.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going to Arizona at the beginning of the year, so that'd be cool.
That's good.
So that's our story. That's my story. So exciting, I know. But
That was
But I
actually
wanted
it
to
was a good
I
story.
wanted to do the I wanted to do this because I know that, a lot of, the regimen hear about me, and they
Yeah.
don't, you know, so that they can put a face to the name.
Yeah. So, so my last question that I have, right? You know, your story is amazing. You know, the ups and the downs, the trials y'all been through. You know, the stuff behind the scenes that you and Rich have both dealt with and have gone through together. So with all that being said, what advice would you give? Let's say newly wedded people. You know, newly wedded couples. What advice would you give to them?
Oh my God, don't do it. No. Um, you know what? It took us a very long time to find each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, if you find that person that makes you happy every day and you feel like deep down that you can't live without that person, hang on. And it's going to be a bumpy ride. Life is a bumpy ride. But the old saying, never go to bed mad, that's very important. Don't
Yeah.
let, things go. Because before you know it, a week has gone by and you haven't talked or you haven't reconnected. And, that's very important to do. Just, Rich has taught me a lot about myself. And I used to be, flight or fight. Just, you pissed me off. I'm getting in my car and I'm going.
Yeah.
That was me, and I had to really learn to, stick it out, no matter if I didn't want to hear it or not. You have to
Mm-hmm.
sit with your partner, talk it out. And you have to compromise. Compromise is huge. Some days you're going to be right, some days he's going to be right. You have to meet in the middle and
Mm-hmm.
say, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I understand, but I still feel like this is my view.
Yeah.
All anybody wants to know, all anyone wants to be is heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the key to a good relationship. Knowing that someone is there for you and they'll listen to you no matter what your day is. And that that holds true to like long-term relationships too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that brought us together initially really, don't hold true today, but you have a different form of love at this point.
Yeah.
Like respect. And I just know that, this person has my back no matter what. And I feel like, he knows that about me too. Respect is so important, and just to listen.
Mm-hmm.
You boys need to listen.
Yeah. Well, in my case, you know, my past relationship, it was the opposite. It was the opposite. She wouldn't listen, so I was like, okay,
Oh, no.
yeah,
No.
yeah
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's a whole different story. You know, just yeah.
So, do I get to interview you? And then
I
we
mean,
can go
if you have
back and forth.
questions, you know, I could start up a new one.
Yeah, we're going to. I'm going to get some questions together, and then we can focus on you because you're so wonderful focusing on everybody else that I think we need to turn the camera. We'll do that soon.
I mean, hey, Chooch has already done it. You know, he kind of inspired me to ask, like, you know, different questions, you know, get to know them personally. So if it wasn't for Chooch, you know, I wouldn't have done it this way. So hey, all props to Chooch for that.
I love what you're doing. I think you should go down the list and keep going
Hmm.
with everybody. You need to do Majestic,
All right, yep.
Data.
I've done them.
You have?
Yes, ma'am. I've done two of them.
Really? Okay, so you got to send those to me. I want to see those too. And though it's a good way to get to know everybody.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
I see so many members that I don't even know who they are. So showcase everybody. Everybody has their own, talents, and
Oh yeah.
you know, it's kind of cool. And once everybody sees, the different personalities, maybe, new members, you can branch out and get more members that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right for that. But so I'm about to wrap it up. Okay, I'm about to end the
Yes.
video. Is there any last words, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
So basically, I wanted to do this only because I know that, everybody goes through some stuff. Lord knows I have to. If anybody wants to reach out to me, talk about different things, PTSD or, anxiety and whatever it may be, sometimes it helps having, you know, a friendly face or just someone to listen to and, just to let it out. So I'm available if anybody needs to talk. Just throwing it out there.
Gotcha, gotcha. So if you're going through anything, make sure you reach at her. Yeah.
I
So,
got you. We got you. Yeah.
so once
Thank you so
again,
much for having me.
yeah. Once again, thank you for doing this. It's a pleasure to get to know you and a little bit about your story and behind the scenes. Cause not a lot of people know you like I have. I got to learn your story and yours and Chooch's true story. So it was
You
a
heard it
pleasure.
here.
It was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Michael.
No problem. All right, so thank you all for watching, and see y'all later.